What's up, Soul Warriors? It's me, LC, and this is Triumphant Thursday. I'm so grateful to be here as always with you, and I just absolutely missed Winning Wednesday yesterday. I apologize from my heart, but I guess I was just meant to be here on Thursday. So, look, today we're going to ask the question how to build self esteem. What is self esteem, and why in the heck is it so important in not only our recovery, but every area of our lives? I want to tackle this huge topic today and shatter the myth and the lie that we need other people to build our self esteem. I mean, it is self esteem, right? It's not other esteem. So that's what I want to talk about today in this Triumphant Thursday live video on Facebook and on the Recovery Soul Food YouTube channel. Wherever you're watching, thank you. If you feel led, please like, subscribe, share, do all the things on whatever platform you're on that helps us move the message out to more people. The algorithms have gotten really strange over this past year. And therefore, it seems that our message is not reaching as many people as it used to. But, I don't mind that because my belief system is that those that see these messages are the people that were guided to these messages anyway. That's all I ever pray for before any, live broadcast or any type of project that I do is that it will touch the right hearts at the right time. So whether you're watching this with me live right now or you watch this on the replay, I just want to tell you how grateful I am that I get to be a part of your journey for however long and for whatever type of journey you're on. See, we're all recovering from something, but in reality, like my friend Martin John says, we are recovering to ourselves. And that's what this self esteem episode of Triumphant Thursday is all going to be about. And I got my co host down there that you might see. That's Sweet Pea, and she's going to co host with me today. So y'all don't be distracted by her. She's going to do her own thing. It's a little bit crazy outside and she doesn't like weather, so you're going to see her probably a lot. So I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so grateful to be here with you. Again, do whatever the things we do to help this message grow wherever you are, and know that I truly love you and appreciate you. So I'm ready to get into this Triumphant Thursday, and I know you are too, so let's go. What's up, Soul Warriors, and welcome to Triumphant Thursday, live with me, LC, and you. I'm grateful to be here. Self-esteem. The definition of self-esteem is confident in one's own worth or abilities. Some other words that go with self-esteem are self-respect, self-regard. You know, there has been this thing that we have believed for so long that our self-esteem is based on other people. And I think that this is the lie. What's up, Janet? I think that this is the lie that causes so much suffering in our lives because we give the power of our self-esteem outward and over to the outside world. I think so much about active addiction has everything to do with self-worth. When you don't feel worthy of good things in your life, when you don't feel worthy of a good, healthy body, when you don't feel worthy of healthy relationships and worthy of wealth, prosperity, abundance, when you don't feel worthy of life, in my case, we abuse ourselves. And that to me is what active addiction is, regardless of what that addiction happens to be. eating disorders, substance, it's whatever it is. I feel like in my experience, I found that I was trying to fill this never ending hole in my soul. This hole that was filled with these voices that told me how unworthy I was for success and love and prosperity. I mean, all the things that I already mentioned. And a lot of those voices were echoes of things that I had heard growing up. Now, whether they had come from people with an ill intent or people that were just regurgitating the things that they had learned in their life or the things that they had experienced. It really doesn't matter because we're all individuals, which means our lives are lived from our own perspective. And it's just like watching a movie in a movie theater. You have 50 people watching the same movie. And if you came out and asked each one of the 50, they would have a different perspective of the movie. They would have different things they liked, different things they disliked. One would say it's the greatest movie they've ever seen. The next one would say it was crap. It was the worst movie ever. And see, that's how when we I think this is all people. When we speak things, we never exactly know how the listener is going to consume that content. We never know when, if we say something that comes totally innocent from our hearts, how it's affecting another person. And so many of us had our self esteem built in the earliest of years in our lives. And what we know now, and we absolutely are certain of this, is that the majority of the life that you and your belief systems and all the ways that your life is programmed to this point happen between the ages of 0, birth, and 7 years old. That's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure. And I don't think that generations past really realized that. They were again just regurgitating generations of raising, generations of modalities, of paradigms, of mindsets, of rituals, and different things. And so, in those times, in my time, kids were to be seen and not heard. Well, just even saying that, be seen and not heard. And most of the time it was don't even be seen or heard. Get outside and play. Go do something. Get out from under my feet. Get out of my hair. Go. You know, just that statement alone makes gives you this unimportant feeling. And I think that we can start to draw things from those times that begin to affect us in every single way. And if you grew up in a very abusive or traumatic situation, then you are absorbing so many things that are lending itself to your self-worth, because that's what you're building in the beginning is self-worth, and then it becomes self-esteem. So we grow up with all these different ideologies and these different impressions from different human beings. And now all of a sudden we're creating a life, or we're trying to create an identity that lives up to all the standards that have said you have to get this to be successful, and you have to get this to be worthy, and you have to own this, or you have to marry this kind of person, or you have to be this kind of mother, you have to be this kind of father, you have to work this hard and work this job. And when you don't live up to those things, it begins to be detrimental to your self-worth. So, what I have learned through my recovery and my awakening process is that I never really have known who I am, what my own ideas were, and I've never truly customized and built my own self-esteem. I had to break through all the lies. What did I want versus that idea of what was expected? What did I really need? versus what I thought I need based on the world's perception. And to really get back to that inner divinity, to 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 acknowledge the idea that we are born worthy, that we are here as a perfect package on earth, and that we are already worthy versus having to go out and get worth. For it's those failures that fueled my active addiction, that fueled my depressions, that fueled everything about me that says I'm just not worthy. And my recovery process has been moving all of that aside and deciding what is truly true in my life for me and what it truly means to love myself. Not that ooey gooey, romantic comedy love. Hey, William, hey, Andrea. Not that romantic comedy love or guru love, but just a true divine love for the fact that I have life and that I was chosen by whatever it is that you want to call this amazing God, that I was chosen to have this life at this time. I'm in this whole self with all the things that I used to curse that now I see as a blessing. We never know what those things about us that we hate because the world deems different are exactly what's going to be used for you to leave a positive mark on this world. See, I believe that's what we're all here for. We're all here so different. We're all here so unique. We're all here so special. And there's something, many things that we're supposed to leave here on this earth. And we spend so much time cursing our past, and we spend so much time cursing our failures and our childhoods, and we curse our trauma. When our trauma, when healed and integrated and loved as part of our package, becomes the very thing that touches another human being. There is no picture of perfection. And the longer that we believe that our self-esteem and self-worth lives outside of us, and we start finding people, famous people, or even people in our lives that are famous to us, when we start trying to live up to what we see as their perfection, we are lying to ourselves, because there is not one perfect human being on this earth. There's not. And when we absolutely learn to create our own happiness, what does happiness mean to you? What is the definition of happiness in your world? It doesn't mean you've got to make 6 figures a year and have the best house and the best spouse and the best children in order to be happy. Because let me give you a little clue. All of those things can be shaken and taken in an instant. And then what are you left with? Happiness is an inside job. And we can't talk about happiness without talking about self-esteem and self-worth. And the ways we begin to build that self-esteem and self-worth and start erasing the lies is to really start, hey, Delphine, are really, really, really is to start looking. I walk outside, I wear glasses, and I live in the South, so it's very humid here. And I walk outside from my house, which I keep pretty cold, and as soon as I go outside, my glasses completely fog up. And for at least 10 minutes, I am going through the process of it going from fuzzy to clear. And I find that when they're fuzzy, I can't really walk, even though I know the path. I'm still scared because I can't truly see what's in front of me. And I was thinking about this yesterday when I went out and I'm behind these fuzzy glasses, and I was really thinking about and meditating on and praying about what I wanted to talk to you all about today. And this is what it comes up. And it's like, oh man, this is what it's like looking at the world through clouded lenses. Lenses that are clouded by false things to live up to. Things that are clouded by false advertisement. A self that I can never ever live up to because it doesn't exist. A clouded lens of the things about me that I point out that aren't perfect, that don't live up, versus all the ways that I could look to myself and find the things that I like. What things are you proud of in your life? You've got to start turning up the volume on those and turning down the volume on that negative self-talk. Because that negative self-talk is the lie. And when you learn how to call out a lie, then you stop believing it. And the reason we sit where we sit with our self-esteem today is because we have believed the lies. And once you find the origin of those lies, ask yourself when you hear that negative talk, ask yourself in that moment, is that true? Is that really true? Or is that some image that I have built of what the perfect body type is, of what the perfect spouse or partner is, or relationship? Start calling bullshit when you see bullshit. When you hear bullshit, especially coming from yourself, ask yourself where you built that opinion. Where did you build that? Is it true? And begin to turn up the volume on those little fleeting moments when you do something or you're just having the best time and you all of a sudden feel, I'm okay with myself. That's awesome. Way to go, LC. Even in the smallest moments, turn the volume up. We get so uncomfortable with compliments. We just can't even accept them. It's like we have these shields up that go, no, 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 no. That's what we got to visit. We got to visit why we're so uncomfortable when people say good things to us. And some of us, well, you don't always have people to say those good things about us. But it is far more important that you say good things to yourself. When we give our worth and our self-esteem and we put it in the hands of others, whether it be a romantic partner, a friendship, a job, we are giving our power away. We are putting the responsibility of our happiness and love and worth on another human being, and there's no way on earth that they can live up to the standard of keeping you happy, keeping you feeling safe, keeping you feeling secure and loved all the time. When you depend upon others for your worth, you will suffer more than you will ever feel worthy. And it's not necessarily because they're bad people, it's because they're humans. And they cannot have the responsibility of your happiness. It will put so much pressure on another human being when you lived only to hear them tell you you're worthy. What happens when they have a bad day? What happens when they don't feel worthy? What happens when their external environment falls apart? It means that you are left empty. And the only way for you to regain your power is to take it back. The only way to have healthy relationships is for two people that feel worthy to come together. Unfortunately, the relationship status, a lot of us in active addiction are two empty people coming together trying to gain what they need from each other. And it never works. Ever. It leads us to disappointment. And I ask you this, how much of the suffering in your everyday life are you creating unknowingly because you're depending upon external circumstances or people to provide you with your happiness, your peace, your love, your joy? I've learned in my own life that joy is cultivated from within. You got to find it. You got to seek it out. You've got to produce it. Because if you're waiting on it to come from the world, you're going to miss so much potential joy. Waiting for this one big fireworks show to create your joy. Look, this is a time of awakening. And what that awakening means is awakening to your power. We've been sold that we've got to build happiness through the world's standards. But in reality, that builds suffering. And we can create our lives by not depending upon outside circumstances to provide us with what we need. The world, our external world, is a mirror to what's happening inside. We often say that we're going to prepare for the worst case scenario, when in fact we're prophesying the worst case scenario. We think it makes us prepared. We think it makes us ready. But in all reality, how much of the worst case scenario did we muster up by giving it so much attention, so much emotion, so much of us? And you'll hear people say, see, I told you it was going to happen. What if it happened because you told it was going to happen? We got to stop living so far in the future and especially stop living so far in the past and come into right now and find out where your life is truly blessed. Some days it feels like it's hard to even go on in this life. But it's because we are giving all of our worth, happiness, and joy, love, peace. We're giving it out to the external world and we're saying, feed me. But that will always, that will never satiate the need that you have in your soul, because your soul is begging you to feed it. In every moment, we are offered an opportunity. How will we see what we are going through? How will we choose to look at this? Opposition or opportunity? Every one of us. My young sister is currently sick with COVID. And it's been devastating to our family because she has MS and her immune system is already very low. And because we've all been sold so much fear about COVID, because it is real, and people are getting sick and they're dying, and we're in this crazy time right now where we're debating vaccination versus not vaccinated, and this is your fault, no, it's your fault, and none of us really know the truth. And how do we, it's an opportunity for us to consult our own inner compass of what is true for us, true and right. But I'm choosing, versus falling into the fear of, oh my gosh, what if this is it for her? But This is an amazing opportunity for our family to heal. Because in this moment, all of that petty external resentments that we all carry and hold on to, and ego, and all of that stuff, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, it all kind of falls away in moments like this, and you realize, wait, none of this stuff is important. Let's use this opposition as an opportunity to heal our family dynamic and say, you know what? Done. Done. Yeah, William, I think that's what we're dealing with too. Yeah, being locked down, man, I know. You know what? The opportunity of all of us to be able to connect in these new ways, you know, have been, I think, detrimental to so much of our needing to be connected to people. And I'm so grateful that we have these platforms. I really am, because I just can't imagine. I think that this whole entire situation of COVID and pandemic and lockdowns they present an opportunity to realize just how much we need people, how much our interactions mean, and how much we absolutely need another human being. Yeah, we're all, I always, I keep all of you in such prayer and positive energy, because I wish I could let you all know how much I believe in you. And I don't have to know you to believe in you. I don't have to know you to know how special you are. I don't have to know you to absolutely believe the best in each and every one of you. It doesn't matter whether someone watches this video 5 years from now. It will still be the truth, because feeling that way about humanity brings me great joy. I lived a life for so long where I saw only the worst in humanity. And I think any of us in active addiction or have been through traumatic events, that's what we've seen. And we have this tendency to lock our hearts and our experience down and start to assume that the entire world is that way. And remember, what we seek, we find. Where we vibrate is what we attract. And when we vibrate in that place of not seeing the best in people, we attract the worst in people. And I know I'm not the only one to have experienced kind of the same situation over and over and over again. Like, you keep experiencing the same negative situation over and over and over again. And you keep asking yourself, like, what? Why do I keep going through this? And the real question that we have to ask ourselves is, how much of my power, my time, my energy, my intent, and my attention do I give to that very situation? Because where your mind and your heart goes, that's where all of your energy flows. When we put out something, the divine does not hear whether we want this or don't want this. It gives what you attract, what you keep your focused attention on. I don't like to talk. I'm reluctant to talk about the Bible a whole lot because it's such a sticky subject with everybody. But I believe that it is, there's so much locked in there. And it's like when Jesus in the New Testament was healing people, you know, Jesus didn't heal these people just through the touch. He says in many occasions, your belief made you whole. But it's not because Jesus just touched and healed, it's because Jesus never saw the sickness. Jesus concentrated his focus and attention on the health and the well being of the human being in front of him. And with their belief combined with his inability to even see them as anything other than healthy, there was healing. And I know we are physical beings, and when we don't feel good or we're in pain, whether it be a heartache or a physical ache, it's hard to take your attention off of that thing, that one aspect. But we can begin in that moment to build a new way of being by going in and just focusing on all the things that are right. If my head is hurting and I have a headache, it does me great good to start just sitting and thinking about my hands are good, my joints don't hurt, just finding places on my body that are healed, that are well, that are giving me great, you know, joy and are helping me throughout my life. And as I do that, the focus just becomes less and less on that ache, and it becomes more and more and more on what's already well. And I'm not saying that we're going to do this and start this type of lifestyle overnight and our whole lives are going to change. You can't stop something that's you've already pushed and is going in a downhill momentum. That's why when we get clean, we start our recovery journey, and all of a sudden, all the things from our past are still coming up. And we have a tendency to go, but wait a minute, I'm doing the right thing now, and everything's still after me. It's because there is a momentum already set in motion. And that you can't just yell stop and it stops in the middle. You gotta let that run through. But what we have to do is to begin now to start a new momentum. Where are you focused today? What about you? Can you turn the volume up on? And I mean literally see yourself turning up the volume. Well, you see, I'm doing it, so I'm showing my age right now. We have knobs in my day. Might be a button for today. I don't know. But whatever you got to do, when you happen to catch yourself, say something good about yourself, stop in that moment. Turn up the volume and hear it louder. This is what neuro-linguistic programming is. It is just giving yourself mental tricks that actually turn up the volume on the positive and literally turn down the volume on the negative. And become aware. I cannot express to everyone within the sound of my voice how much self-awareness is key to healing everything. Be aware. Start becoming the observer. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You're not even your body. You are a beautiful soul in a vehicle to take you through this life experience. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean that thought is you. Become the observer, and you can begin to take apart these things. Ask yourself why. Why do I feel that way about myself? What are the reasons? And where did it come from? Find the origin. Call out the lie and begin to rebuild that thought with its opposite. I know we're all going through hard circumstances. There's probably not a person within the sound of my voice that is not going through severe issues. I mean, you can't live on earth right now and not be going through the confusion about vax, unvax. You see what I mean? But how much of your attention, time, energy are you going to give to that which makes you feel disconnected from who you truly are versus having the choice and the power to give your attention, your time, and your energy to that what makes you feel completely connected, aligned. Become aware. Call out the bullshit. Turn up the volume on all the ways that you are freaking amazing. All the ways. If you've stayed clean 1 hour today, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 days, 30 years, you got something to turn up. You got something to celebrate, man. Don't worry about tomorrow. Stop living in yesterday. I don't care how many times you tried and failed. Don't think about how you're going to stay clean tomorrow. Just go moment to moment. You're not promised tomorrow anyway, so why put all your attention there? Learn to love and live in the moment. You'll find joy. Purposely go look for it. I love you guys so much. Congratulations, William. I'm so grateful. We need more peer support specialists in our recovery field. We need more people that we can relate to, that know what it's like to be there, and that can actually give someone, their time and their attention and show them that recovery works. I am super, super, super excited for you and your community, William, that you will be working in such an amazing field to be in. What's up, Michelle? Have a great day. Angela Crisco, have an amazing, amazing day. Andrea, I love you as always. You are absolutely just amazing, and I appreciate you. So, anyone, and Janet, thank you for being here. And anyone else that I haven't seen, if you're watching on another platform and I don't see your comments, you know what? I just love and appreciate you so, so, so much. Recovery Soul Food Podcast is kind of on a hiatus right now. We're putting together a new guest and ready to kick off season 3. That's going to be in about 2 to 3 months. Right now, I'm working on some amazing projects over on the Transgender Mentor YouTube channel, where we're having discussions about real life and mostly about what it means to be a good ally and what's a good ally. And so that's Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Transgender Mentor YouTube channel. And I've also just started a brand new podcast called Walk a Mile in My Shoes with my good friend and co-host Eric McCoy. And we are visiting some subjects and topics that, well, this week we've done hate, and we are looking at hate within the religious communities, and how hate and propaganda is hurting other human beings, and how it's still growing to this day in 2021. You'd be amazed at how much hate is still being spilled in the world. And so we want to walk a mile in those shoes. I don't want to just combat, make fun of, or come against hate. I want to understand how a person can own that much hate within them. And so that's going to be an amazing new show. And it's not just going to be about hate, it's about all people that are judged and marginalized in society. I want to know who they are. I want to walk a mile in their shoes. The only way to heal humanity is to become more human. And we learn to love one another, especially when we're different, through understanding, getting a picture of what it's like to be them. And I don't mind putting myself in their shoes and your shoes. So if you think you got a good story for that, a good walk a mile in my shoes story, then let us know. Go ahead and hit me up at riseuprecovery3@gmail.com. And I look forward to seeing you all again. Thanks again for joining me for this triumphant Thursday. I love you guys so, so, so much. And I will see you all next Wednesday, 7:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, I'll be back to work by then. Thank y'all for your prayers for my sister and my family. I think she's doing a little bit better. It's hard to be confined and to go through sickness, sort of by yourself, and to fight the fear that we've all been fed and just programmed about all this. It's real, y'all. Fear is real. So I thank y'all for your prayers for her and for our family. I love y'all so much. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing, triumphant Thursday. Why? Because you choose to. And yes, you are that powerful. Love you guys.